in his seat. He doesn't even crawl, stand up because of his arm.
This is Jamie Varley in what appears to be deep distress, struggling to come to terms with the death of his adopted son, who was just 13 months old.
Just needs to go back in there and make him better.
He told officers the baby had accidentally drowned in the bath, but today a jury has concluded that this was a lie, and that Varley had killed the boy he was entrusted to care for after months of sexual and physical abuse. Preston Davey was taken into care shortly after he was born. He was described as happy, healthy and bubbly. He was adopted by Jamie Varley and John McGowan-Fazakerley when he was 9 months old. The court heard how in the 4 months he spent with the couple, he was indecently filmed and photographed, as well as being sexually abused and physically assaulted, suffering 40 traumatic injuries. This footage shows Varley shouting at Preston to keep him awake. The prosecution described this as an act of abuse. Preston had been taken to hospital 3 times while in the couple's care. During one of those visits, Varley explained bruises on Preston's forehead with this video of a toy box falling on his head. The prosecution said the clip was a deliberate attempt to mislead medics, with the footage filmed 12 days before the baby was taken to A&E. The couple rushed Preston to hospital one final time in July 2023. He'd suffered a cardiac arrest after an alleged sexual assault by Varley. A post-mortem examination found he'd either been smothered or had objects inserted into his mouth. This is Varley caught on police body-worn video, saying what happened was an accident. Varley and McGowan-Fazakerley were arrested that night. Over the course of their police interviews, they both refused to take responsibility for what happened to the boy they named Elijah.
Have you done anything to cause Elijah's death?
No.
Has John?
No.
As far as you're aware?
No, as far as I'm aware, no, and trust me, I'd never do that.
As far as we can see, Elijah, when he came into your care, was a healthy baby with no injuries.
We have not caused Elijah's death.
The death of a child is always distressing, but the circumstances in which poor Preston Davey found himself over that 4-month reign of terror is truly horrific. Jamie Varley has treated Preston as a plaything, as his property. Jamie Varley and John McGowan-Fazakerley went through the adoption process, went through the real stringent selection procedures that look at every facet of their lives. I'm presented as a young, professional, happy, solid, safe couple, but the reality was rather different.
Carol Homden is the chief executive of a children's charity who run an adoption agency. She says cases like this are rare and should always lead to lessons being learned.
It is a rigorous process, and it's rightly a rigorous process, because this is a service for our most vulnerable children. There are hundreds and thousands of children who enter care for their own protection each year, and the vast majority of those are cared for safely and well by the carers who support them. It isn't possible to manage out every single risk, however hard we try, and we must never be complacent.
The case has raised questions about the decision to place Preston with the couple and if any opportunities to protect him were missed. Oldham Council will now resume a serious case review, looking into what happened. At just 13 months old, Preston should have been safe. Instead, he lived through months of abuse, killed by a man who was meant to care for him. Shingi Marike, Sky News.